Thanks for joining me. Back to Tai Chi Walking. Hopefully I have got the videos up where we're going to get more into our stances and footwork. And in our stances and footwork, I'm going to work through up until we start getting into the main Gong Bu that we are going to use on this channel, or at least the one we are going to base things off of. In our walking so far, we covered off just some basics and we sort of did a casual version of the walk. Once you really get into Gong Bu, and the Gong Bu we're going to use, we're going to want to make sure that we are using that particular Gong Bu when we go for the walk. I.e., we're going to be really grounded, we're going to be really structured, we're going to make sure we've got all of those forwards, back, up, down connections, just like we're right into the ground, we're moving in that particular style. This video here, we're going to do a version of it that I really like to do using a glute loop. This is unfortunately black on the outside, and I'm wearing black pants because it seems I only own black pants. So it's not going to be super easy to see. So I'm going to demonstrate how we are going to use this with this side out first. And then I'm going to flip it around so it doesn't do anything untoward when we're doing the actual walk. Get into your glute loop. And where we want to set this is essentially above the knees. And by above the knees, I mean above everything on the knee. Make sure you can put at least 2-finger width between anything you think of as knee and this loop. We don't want to put any extra pressure or stretch or strain on any of the ligaments and tendons in here. This is strictly to work our glutes and our grounding and, you know, establish some extra connections, make it a little more challenging for ourselves. It is in no way like a knee exercise. I think my kid's in the tub. So make sure you can put at least 2 fingers above your kneecap, anything around that you think is knee. This is just providing a little bit of extra width, right? A little bit of resistance to that width that we've been putting on. So now that I've shown that, I'm going to flip it around so the elastics actually work the way they're supposed to. And the first thing I'm going to do with this is I am going to get into my proper medium frame Ma-Bu stance. So I'm going to find, as I sink into this, I'm going to have to get that like a really open bridging sensation in order to stretch this out, right? I'm not going to sink down and let my knees collapse in order to keep my knees out. As I sink in, I'm going to stretch this band, and I really got to drop into it, and I really got to establish that width feeling. So from here, basically what I want to do is I want to maintain that as I go for a walk. And to get there, first I might want to start just doing my basic movement vocabulary, coming up, dropping down, coming up, dropping down. If you've been through that playlist, do our sides to sides, shifting our weight one side to the other, one side to the other, right? Still maintaining everything exactly the same as if that loop wasn't there. Still tall through the top of the head. Hips are still flat and level. Drop down. Right? I'm not bobbing up and down. I'm not changing height. From here, I might want to do my twists, rotating through the hips, right? While maintaining this same outward dynamic across that glute loop. And by now, you should definitely feel your glutes working. Once you can feel them working, then we're going to go for a walk. So we're going to transfer our weight, let our toes come up, making sure, like when we do this, this is going to provide extra pressure, and I'm going to want to, my knee's going to want to bend in. So as I sink down here and open this up, this is actually going to create extra tension across this glute loop. Then as I transfer my weight, everything comes in, I get some of that pressure off, and I can bring my toes in, keeping my center of balance. I'm going to try and keep as much tension as I possibly can going out on this glute loop. Then my foot comes forward. This is going to get really challenging here to get width. Like, it'd be easy to just put my foot down and come straight down, but to get width here, I'm going to have to really sink and really increase the pressure on that glute loop. Like, really focus on creating that huge opening on my legs, putting my foot down, transferring most of my weight forward, as we've been doing, into a nice strong Gong Bu. From here I can drop back, open those toes up, set it down, step forward, bring in the toes nice and tight, still maintaining a sense of outward tension, like not allowing this glute loop to, not allowing this elastic to collapse. I'm saying glute loop way too much in this video. Step forward, really sink, and allow that bridge to open up. Really let that stretch as we transfer and drive through that rear leg, and then bring it up. From the side. Woo! And start back here. Go for a bit of a walk. Also, I should point out, this one is heavy, like a extra tension. It came with those parallel bars, but you can get these in different tensions. I actually just tried for the first time in my life a light tension one. Oh, it felt glorious. But when I'm at home, this is the only one I got, so this is what I use. Okay, sinking down. Open up the toes, keeping tension on this, not allowing my legs to collapse. As I step in, out, transferring my weight forward, dropping back, toes open up, stepping all of my weight forward, keeping my balance, stepping out, open up wide, don't allow my knees to collapse. Keep those glute medius muscles engaged, drop back, out, forward, wide. Apparently off screen. Okay, so this is a training protocol I started when I was in China, and honestly, you don't need to have one of these. If you've got any resistance bands, anything like that, you can just wrap them up a few times, tie a knot in them, whatever. Actually, what I started with was something very similar to this kind of a band. And this one would actually be really good for getting a specific sort of tension that you get very easily just by where you tie it. Set different tensions. I've just gotten into the habit of using that one because it's really convenient and it still has that same elastic thing, so it's not going to snap up and hit anything vital while being fabric covered, and so it's just kind of nicer to use. But use whatever you got, and if you don't have anything like that, I would encourage you, when you do your Tai Chi walking, kind of imagine that you've got it there. Imagination is still your best friend for these sorts of things, and the stronger you can make your imagination, the better it is overall. Using the elastics or the glute loop is really just a way for me to extra reinforce what that feels like, to want to have that, like that opening, that really have something that I'm going up against when I get into the stances, so that I maintain that feeling when it isn't there. When I'm doing my form and I take a step out, I still want to have that feeling that everything is nice and engaged as I step out, like I could step out against resistance here, like this opening has got something behind it, right? This, I want that to feel solid as that moves into there. So that's using a glute loop while going for a Tai Chi walk. Will definitely work your glute medius muscles. But most importantly, like I say, it's about forming that connection so that you've always got that outward force that is just sort of taking that space as we get into more martial combative stuff. This is, about stepping into a person's space and saying, nope, this is actually my space now. Thank you for joining me.